So good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the NUI Galway Postgraduate Open Day. My name is Adrian Larkin, and I'm the Business Innovation Officer here at J. Cairn School of Business and Economics, and we're really delighted that you've joined us today. There are many great reasons why you should consider your postgraduate studies. You might be looking to progress your current career path, develop a starting advantage in your career, improve your employment prospects. You might be developing your personal interests, looking to progress to a higher level qualification such as a research PhD level qualification, or you might be looking to change the direction of your career as well. So there's lots of good reasons why you might be choosing to pursue a postgraduate degree. And what we really hope is from today you'll come away and be inspired to join us for your postgraduate studies. So I'm delighted to be joined here today by our program directors from the discipline of Business Information Systems, Dr. Dennis Dennehy, who is the current program director for Business Analytics, and Dr. Noel Carroll, who is the current program director for Information Systems Management. We're also joined by Dr. Anastasia Grieva, who is going to be our new program director for the MSc in Business Analytics from January 2022. We're also joined by a number of alumni who are going to share their insights and experiences. So we have Ogana, Tatiana and Mary, who I'm going to pull in later in the session. So the format of today is as follows. I'll give you a very brief introduction to NUI Galway, our business school, and how we give our graduates a competitive edge. I'll very briefly mention our admissions processes and our scholarship opportunities. I'm then going to pull in the program directors who are going to give you introductions to the programs that we offer. Following this, we'll move out to the slide deck and hear from our alumni who've joined us today. And finally, we'll open to questions that you might have that you can put to any of our panelists. So feel free to post any questions in the chat bar that you might have during the session. Just to introduce our university, so NUI Galway has been inspiring minds since 1845, and we're ranked within the top 2% of universities in the world, which really reflects our status as a global university. Over the weekend, we had some very exciting news. NUI Galway was named as the Sunday Times University 2022, so a huge recognition for the university. In the feedback that the university received by the review panel, one of the things that stood out was the sense of community at NUI Galway. And I think by joining the postgraduate community here, you would really become part of that community. So the university has been a defining presence and recognisable landmark within the city for almost 2 centuries. So we've over 175 years of experience delivering education. We're very much a research-led institution and are at the heart of a distinct and vibrant region. So Galway is obviously renowned for its culture, the creative industries, medical industries, information systems, technology industries. So it really is a unique and distinct, vibrant region. And at NUI Galway, we want to build on your passion for learning and to encourage and support your desires to develop as a person, to explore new interests. So here with us, you'll be given full support, the knowledge, the skills, the self-confidence to achieve your goals and reach your full potential. Just to introduce our business school very briefly then as well. So our mission. So energised by our regional edge on the west coast of Ireland, we are a globally engaged school of business and economics for the public good that makes a transformative impact for students, society and business. And that for the public good element really emphasises the dual emphasis that we place on business and society. So through our teaching, research and public policy impact, we contribute to sustainable change in economic, social and natural environment contexts. So our business school has been awarded many accreditations and accolades, which are reflective of the global standards of the courses that we deliver here. So AACSB is the longest serving global accrediting body for business schools and the largest business education network connecting students, educators and businesses worldwide. Athena's One represents the school's commitment to equality, diversity, inclusion. And what all of these accolades and accreditations really represent are the quality of education that we deliver here in our School of Business and Economics, our research-led teaching, our innovative teaching practices, applied learning opportunities, global experience, collaboration, industry engagement, placement opportunities. And our programs are designed to ensure that you are work ready, career ready, and world ready. So studying within our School of Business and Economics, you're really part of a global classroom. So we have a very diverse student body with over 40 countries represented across our school. So you're going to gain experience working in multicultural teams, which is very representative of the diverse nature of the workplace. So students will get exposure to different cultures, perspective, and ways of working which support your development. So just a small bit then around the admissions process. So all of the information around the admissions process is available on nuigalway.ie/apply. The application process is fully online. We will always encourage prospective students to apply early. Our programs are very high in demand, particularly the courses that we're looking at here today. So offers are made on a rolling basis. So the sooner you apply, the sooner you receive a decision. Here's a list of some of the typical documents which you might require. Proof of identity, official transcripts, a personal statement, an English language competency certification if you're not from a native English speaking country. And some of our courses might have additional requirements such as a CV, details of work experiences. But one thing just to say that the application isn't complete until all of the documents are submitted online. You might also be wondering how you might fund your postgraduate degree, and there's a number of funding opportunities. So I'd encourage you all to look at nuigalway.ie/scholarships, and we'll give you a full breakdown of some of the funding opportunities that are available. So within the university for EU students, we have a first class scholarship for students who have a 1-1 equivalent grade. We have scholarships across our postgraduate programs. The SUSI grant is available. For non-EU students who might be looking to apply, we have merit-based scholarships, we have country-based scholarships. Again, we have scholarships available within our School of Business and Economics, and there are also scholarships offered by the Government of Ireland. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand over to our first programme for today, which is going to be the MSc in Information Systems Management. And I'm going to hand you over to Dr. Noel Carroll, who's going to present on this programme. So thanks very much, Noel.
Thank you, Adrian. Thanks very much for the opportunity to give an overview of the Masters in Information Systems Management. So my name is Noel Carroll. I'm the Programme Director of this course. It's a really exciting programme over the last couple of years. We managed to try to align the material as close as possible with industry demands. And the Masters is designed as a specialist course to assist our students develop technical skills and also business skills, but more importantly, how to take, I suppose, ownership in terms of management around aspects of digital transformation and information systems initiatives. I suppose a core question for many people is, after taking this program, what are the opportunities that exist out there for me as a graduate? And it's important to highlight that I suppose I've taken a snippet here from a local newspaper or national newspaper, the Irish Times, which highlights the jobs market across Ireland. And they explain, in the article that there's a real recruitment drive, for aspects of software developers, business analysts, systems analysts, and so on. And our program really aligns with, I suppose, the opportunities that exist in the marketplace right now. And opportunities include IT product and project managers, software developers, IT analysts, and IT technicians, and so on. So it's worth highlighting that the career prospects after completing this program, are very rich, and that's, I suppose, evident in the high demand for applications also, as part of the program. The interesting thing, as well as part of this, I think Adrian outlined it earlier, is that as part of our school strategy, we place like a lot of emphasis on being a school for the global good, and also in terms of how we can have that transformative impact on students, society, and business. So again, this collaboration that we have with industry ensures that we can drive that impact and ensures that we're aligned with what's required in industry also. Go to the next slide, Adrian. So this is aligned with the material that we teach in the program. The program has recently undergone a quality review process, and this is a review process that each program has to go through every 7 years within the university, and that was examined externally by external experts, in a similar space. And we got very positive feedback in terms of A, the quality of what we teach, and B, in terms of the skill set that our graduates acquire and how that meets industry demand also. So it's important to note that, and we try to cover, I suppose, aspects of the business acumen and also the technical skill sets that's required out there. We recently introduced a cloud computing module, and again, this is, I suppose, testament to how we align with industry demands in terms of cloud computing specialists and so on. As part of the final year project, we encourage our students to look at collaborating with industry clients, or to carry out some research, or even to look at the ideas around commercialization, and to try and develop your own ideas in-house and so on. If you want to go on to the next slide. The nice thing about this, and again, it's very much trying to drive on the idea that we're very much in tune with I suppose society and business, across Ireland, but more importantly at a local level in Galway. And this I suppose slide here tries to present a snapshot in terms of the organizations that are on our doorstep in Galway. So here you'll see the tech map and also the medtech map. And from a technology perspective, we have organizations like HP, SAP, Fidelity Investments, Cisco, and so on. And that just kind of shows the breadth of organizations that are on our doorstep. And it also shows how organizations trust in the quality of education that we deliver. And we have that research kind of driven teaching approach in the classrooms also. And you'll also see from a medtech perspective, a lot of our graduates are looking at I suppose digital innovation as part of the medtech space in terms of e-health and so on. So I suppose career-wise, it's important to try to to give you some reassurance that by completing the program in information systems management, there are ample careers out there at a local level, but also at a national and international level with all of these global companies on our doorstep. Next slide, Adrian, sorry. So on the website, we've listed a number of testimonials that will also kind of support the insights, based on their experience part of the masters. I probably won't go through them in any detail here, but in essence, they describe how they're feel well equipped with the technical skills, the business skills, and also how the program has supported them to be more competitive in the marketplace. And we have, I suppose, Mary here also that will provide some insights on her experience.
Yep. Hi, so my name is Mary and I'm a recent graduate from the ISM program. I completed it last year and it was during the pandemic, so it was completely remote, but it was an enjoyable experience. I gained a lot of new skills and I got many opportunities from it, like the one I had now to apply for the current position I'm in as of this week, here as a research assistant in NUIG with Noel and as part of a team. So the Masters being a conversion course, you'd have many people from different backgrounds. Like Adrian said, there's loads of cultural differences as well, but it's great to work with different people and hone their different set of skills and build on your skill set yourself. I found it was great to, change your career direction. I came from a background in science, so I came as a complete beginner to the likes of programming languages, which I actually found quite enjoyable and rewarding. The way the programs are taught, it's divided up nicely between assignments and practical work and theory. I found that once you put in good work, you get recognized for it and rewarded, and there are skills and knowledge that you can bring with you in your career. In this course, we were taught to look at things from like a user's perspective. So you'll never look at a business in the same way again. But I think that's a good thing. And it's opened up a career opportunity for me of continual learning, and I'd advise the same for anyone else that's thinking about it to go for it.
Yeah, brilliant, Mary. Thanks so much for that. And I'm going to come back to you, Mary, with a couple more questions at the end of the session as well, if that's okay. But thank you so much for that. So I'm going to move forward now, and I'm going to move on to the MSc in Business Analytics. So Dennis, if you'd like to come in at this point to talk about that program, thank you very much.
Sure, thank you, Adrian. So good afternoon, everybody. You're very welcome to our session today. Over the next couple of minutes, I'd like to kind of convey the spirit of the Business Analytics program that's very much student-centric. But first, some background, I suppose, to the program itself. The program has been designed as a specialist program with the aim of filling over 17,000 jobs in the business analytics space in Ireland. And these are figures coming from the expert group on future skills needs in Ireland. And the program is also aligned to the Ireland's National Skills Strategy 2025, where there's a big emphasis on skills development opportunities that are relevant to the needs of industry, public sector organisations and not-for-profit sector. It is the largest program of its kind in Ireland at the moment. And much of the success of the program has been driven by the alumni of the program and also this year's class. You'll see in the photo here that we have 142 students on the program this year. Such a big class, we couldn't take one photograph, we had to take 2 pictures last week. But again, we got students from all backgrounds, from accounting, economics, engineering, statistics, sports, arts, and all coming onto the program for different motivations for career progression. This motivation will include a career change, for example. Other students are using it as a platform to progress into management roles. And the 2 alumni that we have today as well, Ogona and Tatiana, will actually share their experiences of how the program has shaped them and their career path, but also how they have shaped the program itself too. You might jump to the next slide, Adrian, please. So this is just to give you, I suppose, a snapshot of the types of modules and subjects that are, I suppose, taught each year. They do change. So we're changing it, I suppose, based on the needs of industry. Topics evolve as well. But I suppose the big change in recent years was the major group project. So the master's program consists of 90 credits. So this is a credit system that's used in Europe. Within this 90 credits, the major group project is worth 30 credits. So 1/3 of your master's is based on this group project. Usually groups of 3 or 4 people, all from different backgrounds again on the master's program, and they would develop an artifact and a report, not just for the award of the master's program, but also to showcase their skills to industry. And we know many students have showcased their major group projects and got fantastic jobs out of it. Adrian mentioned that we're a research-led university, but also in the classroom, we're a research-based university. You might just turn to the next slide there, Adrian. And to give you, I suppose, that view, or I suppose, the experience or the spirit of the BA program that students have brought to this program. They've won competitions, they've participated in competitions at national level, international level, and done exceptionally well. Year after year, they're winning awards, they're participating in conference papers and presentations. We do lots of class events, class trips. But the energy that students bring to this program has been well noted, not just by the teaching staff, but also by industry. And this is why there's a huge demand for graduates from this program, because they bring, I suppose, a skill that's very unique. They have a great understanding of the analytics, but also how to generate business and social value from these technologies. And this is why, I suppose, the demand for graduates from this program keeps growing year after year. As Adrian mentioned, we would encourage you to apply early. Last year, we had 748 applications for this program alone, and 450 plus applications were processed before December last year. So I would recommend that you do submit your application in the next couple of days, else you can end up moving on to a waiting list. Give you, I suppose, a flavour of the reputation that we have, I suppose, developed in the last couple of years, because it's still a young program. The numbers are growing. We've been recognised by internally by the university in terms of the inclusive nature of our teaching and learning. We've been shortlisted for national awards. Internationally, we've been ranked as a program by QS Rankings. You can see there we were ranked #1 in the world for value for money, and this year #2 in Ireland. So only a very few number of programs get ranked in QS Rankings, and we're only one of 2 in Ireland that have been ranked by subject. Bill Schmarzo, excuse me. So Bill Schmarzo is the honorary professor of the program. Bill works with Dell Technologies to help them get value from analytics and data. Previously, students have published their major group projects at international conferences. We've had students go to Sweden 1 year presenting their research. We had students this year, again, presenting at an international conference, even though it's a virtual event. So there's many opportunities for you to put your stamp on this program, because in many ways it's a springboard that will allow you to shape the career path that you want. We will provide all the supports for you at the individual level, but also at the class level. And the role of the program director is very important in that sense. So we engage with class representatives, we build relationships with students as a group, but also at the individual level. And our job is to make sure that you get the value from this program. Maybe next slide, Adrian. Again, you see a flavor here of the companies that employ graduates, the type of roles, but also the salaries that are being offered to graduates over the last 2 to 3 years, especially. And this is even during COVID and post-COVID. There's great opportunities. Companies are looking for graduates who have maybe no experience to join the graduate program. We have other students who have come onto the program with 3, 4, 5, 6 years experience, and they obviously get higher salaries up to 75,000. This year we have students work experience ranging from 1 to 15 years experience, having worked in the industry for up to 15 years and now joined the program. Last year we had students working in the industry for up to 8 years prior to joining the program, and every one of them have done exceptionally well career-wise. And you know, if you really want to find out, I suppose, the value and the spirit of this program, reach out to the alumni. Their LinkedIn profiles are very active. They're very active on social media and also on their website. And they're very supportive. They will come back and give you lots of advice on how to get the best value from the program. And just to wrap up, one of the best ways to get value from this program is to get involved in clubs, societies, volunteering, part-time work. And this is what employers really like with graduates on this program, that they've shown the ability to immerse themselves in new environments, in small teams, large teams, and just to be able to adapt and deliver value to the overall company. Next slide, Adrian, we're lost.
Yeah, so thanks very much for that, Dennis. That was a brilliant introduction to the program, and I think you really captured the spirit of the program. I was just about to ask you a question towards the alumni, but I think you've just touched on the points there. With the business analytics and the information systems management, there really is a connectedness there with the alumni networks, and they're always very willing to share insights, guidance, advice, and even bring employment opportunities within their own organizations to current students' attention. So, you know, one of the benefits of joining the business school and becoming an alumni is becoming part of that extensive network, that just can generate so much positivity and provide opportunities as well. So Dennis, thank you very much for that. And I have a couple of questions that I'm going to ask, but I might come back to you in the next couple of minutes as well with those.
Because I'd like to maybe just let Ogona, I suppose, talk about her experience maybe, and after Ogona, maybe Tatiana, you can jump in and share your experience of the program.
Absolutely. So Ogana, if you'd be happy to go first, if you wouldn't mind just to introduce yourself and tell us a small bit about your experience of studying here at NUI Galway.
Okay, sure. So my name is Ogana. I studied at NUI in 2019-2020 set. Before then, I was based in Nigeria and I had to move all over to Ireland. So for me, the experience was really great. It was really grand. Having, left my undergrad, like I had graduated since 2009. And then having living 10 years behind and going back into school, like the experience in NUI was really good because, I didn't feel like I had left school for long because it was easy assimilating into the studies. The lecturers were very helpful. They were always there to, help you when you need something after classes. They would wait like a couple of minutes to put you through if you're having any challenge in anything. So for me, the experience was really great. And it was also real value for money for me because I had, literally put in everything I had into coming to the masters and coming over to Ireland. And after that, you know, I was able to secure a job like almost immediately, right before even the graduation. I was able to get a job with where I work currently, Meta, previously Facebook. And it was really a good experience. I learned a lot. So what actually drove me to come into NUI was I had done like extensive research. I was looking for a university that had like rich course contents in business analytics, because before then I had been working for about 6 years. And then I was looking for somewhere that would help me in terms of upskilling, you know, having like rich course content and giving me more introduction into what the trend was in the analytics industry, you know, as against just having to read up stuff. So NUI kind of like provided all those things that I needed, especially the course in business analytics. It was really, really helpful. So they had like a lot of rich courses. There were a lot of hands-on courses with the Python, the C#, and even the capstone project that I had to work on with the group was super helpful. And at the end of the day, I would say like it was super beneficial, value for money. You know, I wouldn't trade it for anything anymore. You know, so yeah, I would encourage anyone who is thinking of applying to just apply, because the longer you wait, you know, like Dennis had said, you know, there's a huge waiting list at the end of the day. So it's better you apply quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Agana, for that. And I think your sense of drive is clear. And I think, you know, the comment about return on investment, you know, it's an investment in yourself and in your career. And that springboard that Dennis mentioned for what you can achieve and the opportunities that are available. Agana, would you mind telling us a small bit about your career history now since you finished the program? So you're based in Dublin, but would you mind telling us a small bit more about, you know, your career since you finished the program and your role and what that entails?
Oh, okay. So I finished the program in 2020. I got the job with Meta, previously Facebook, like almost immediately after the course. So I got a job currently working as a data analyst, where I use data to influence in decisions. So basically, I would say like a lot of the things we were taught in class, you know, was super helpful. Is super helpful. But before then, I still have like before coming to Ireland, I had a bit of experience in business intelligence. But then adding that up with what I had learned in school was also super helpful. So I'm currently based in Dublin. So I had to move from Galway to Dublin for the role. So yeah, that was like a different experience for me, because I had stayed in, like my first trip to Ireland was to Galway, and I had been there and moving to Dublin. It was a smooth transition. You know, so far it's been an enjoyable experience, you know, yeah.
Brilliant. And just even picking up on that location piece for a minute, you know, can you tell us a small bit about your experience of Galway as a city while you were here?
Yeah, so yeah, Galway is a fun city. It's really interesting. There are lots of cultural places around. It's like you would want to immerse yourself with Galway. I still feel strongly attached to Galway, honestly. Like, yes, I'm in Dublin. Dublin is a big city, but then I'm kind of like the kind of person that likes the Galway life, you know, the student life, the quiet life and everything. Everywhere is within a walkable distance, which is super, you know. And yeah, it's a beautiful city. Like, there's so many places to visit while you're there, you know, lovely beaches, you know, you could, you know, I know during that, when we were in school, we had like a class trip to the Bomrati Castle, and we also had to the Cliff of Moher. So there were like nice places around, you know. So there are lots of, you know, cultural places for you to immerse yourself in while you're studying, which is really good as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's great, even though you're currently in Dublin, that you still feel that connectedness with Galway's location as well. I think, yeah, Galway definitely does have a charm to it, no matter where you might be afterwards. So no, Agana, thank you very much for sharing those insights. They were fantastic. And it sounds like it's a very exciting time at work with, you know, Meta now launching and big changes as well, but all positive, I hope. So thank you.
Yeah.
So next I might come to you, Tatiana, if that's okay. If you would be okay to introduce yourself and just tell us a bit about your experience of studying the MSc in Business Analytics with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Am I hearable?
Yeah, I can hear you
Yeah,
perfectly there. Thank you.
perfect. I'm Tatiana. So I was part of the Masters in Business Analytics in the previous year, so 2020-21. And I just, first of all, just would like to thank you so much, all the lecturers and UIG and everything for the amazing efforts that the university put into place during the pandemic, because you was just there in between that everything was happening and nobody knew what was going to happen and everything in here and there. And then I loved every single thing and the experience that I had there in the university, even though we did have this limitation of going to see people and having a full experience, things in lockdown and everything. But I don't think that it was a case that I actually missed that much from the university experience. So first of all, thank you so much for all of you. And when it comes to just a little bit of my background. So I'm from Brazil and I moved to Ireland in 2014. So I first came in and I was meant to be here in Galway just for 6 months to study English. But then, Galway is just beautiful and it's such a lovely place that it's been nearly 8 years that I've been now. So it's very interesting. I just ended up here and never left. So I did an undergrad business degree in Dublin. And then after I finished my undergrad business, I wasn't actually, I was in the different situation from other like more certain students that I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do in my life, because I was just like after finishing business and I was pretty much exploring what the possibilities would be, what would be the best area to get into a master's degree and everything. And because I've always had some sort of like I always liked IT, and then I saw that the new prospects and all the new job opportunities and all of everything that was happening now in Ireland in terms of jobs and everything. I looked at the course in UIG, and then I was like, sure, why not? Because I did have a couple of other friends who studied in the college as well. So I know how, the university, it's really prestigious, and the quality of the study. And I just wanted to live this life. So then, because I was from business, and then I was like, okay, I won't go too technical because I don't know how hard the analytic is going to be. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to kill two birds with one stone, and we have a business, and then you have the analytics part. So improving this technical part, because I already had the business part. So in terms of experience, again, I just felt like in the first place, as you guys already mentioned, it's just this like really inclusive environment, because at least for me, like being a woman and then being like a part of underrepresented like community, I just felt like I've never felt, like any kind of like a different treatment. So I always felt like really respected every single place in the campus, and then within the different societies, and plus the massive networking that you have in university. So it's very important that you have that sense of, you're in a community and you have this sense of belonging. So that was like really impressive in that sense. And as well as I just as it was already mentioned, it's not only you're learning a subject, you find really, you can find out the different interests within the university as well. So you really have this sense of community, because they're going to be part of different groups and part of different societies, and then you can start to be involved here and there. So at least for me, as something really new for me, being part of a big university, I was going mad as any kind of activity. So I started off like being the class representative from our class, but then I was also part of different societies and connecting with the different alumni students, and then being part of their different chats and talks with companies that they come in, and like they give you tips about your CV and what they're looking for, and different opportunities you'll be having in their company, and the different volunteer opportunities as well, and competitions and all of that. So you're able not only to find your tribe, what you really like in terms of interest and everything, but this massive networking group that at the end of the day, the university, they really put this into like a priority. Okay, trying to get involved, try to get know people, because at the end of the day, it's pretty much that. It's sometimes it's not about everything about what you know, but who you know. And that was actually how I'm currently employed. So just like networking with people and everything. So I truly appreciate everything that university actually provided in terms of support and everything. And one thing that I particularly liked in the course itself was the major projects, because we actually had to work on real life experience and data and make sense of that. Because as much as I do find it, okay, you might know analytics here and there, you know how to run some codes and everything, but what's the real business value out of that? Because that's really what the companies they're looking for. It's not about you can know a thing here and there, but so what? So what can you do with this? And that's really what you really start to understand when you start the course. They really put that into your mind, like really get it. Noah was laughing because he was my supervisor, and it's like, yeah, where's the business value? So yeah, it's really good that. And plus yeah, our class, it was really diverse. So people from different backgrounds, different countries and everything. And I would say in my major project itself, it was good that we have people from different backgrounds, because that's pretty much how it happens in real life. You don't choose who you're going to be working to, and it's all about you learning how to get the best of it with the people you have and the skills you have. And so it's a really truly it's the experience in college, but that's actually what you see in real life. And I see how much this is actually valuable, because in my current job, I actually work with people, like at the moment, with at least people from another 10 different nationalities. So like Europe, Asia, America. So I'd say if I hadn't had this exposure and experience actually in my course, I probably wouldn't have been that much prepared for the current position that I am at the moment. So yeah, so the experience itself was unbelievable, and it's really good opportunity to showcase what you're doing with to employers as well. Because I remember there was a project that I was doing as a part of one of the modules, and then we just posted like my project online on LinkedIn, and tagging one of the companies that we wanted them to see our projects, because we mentioned them in our project. And then a week later, the company was actually posting our project to their LinkedIn page, and was actually appreciating the research that we did in the area. And actually, it started as a post, but then it came like they're actually advertising our work, and people adding me on LinkedIn, and getting more connections and all of that. So it's a great opportunity for that. And yeah, just being part of different societies and all of that. So I feel like it is, as everyone said, it's good that you get the sense of you're learning and getting the technical and all of this. But what really got me to take the full experience of being in UIG is, just going mad and using every single part of help and support that the university actually has available to the students. So sometimes even help with writing assignments, or if you're having any questions with or having any difficulties with programming, they have different groups that will help you out. So there is a lot of there that you can actually, you might not have, you might have zero experience in the area, which was actually my case. I didn't have any experience with analytics or anything, but now all the lessons and the experience that I got in university actually really made me suitable to be working in a working environment. And now I work with senior people with over, you know, like 15 years of experience. But yeah, I'm really ready, and I'm always listening to so many compliments from people from my team. They're like, "Oh, you just started, but you know, you've made so much progress and everything," and all of that. I wouldn't have achieved even half of that if it hadn't been UIG. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tatiana. That was one of the best descriptions of an experience I've ever heard, to be honest.
Like,
And
yeah, it was taking the whole of it, you know, actually go beyond the basics.
and that's such an important point, and I think it's been picked up a few times. It's about the whole experience, the well-rounded experience that students get when they come here, you know. And I think it's very clear that the spirit that Dennis is talking about in the program is really coming through with all of our alumni that we have here today as well. And you touched on such brilliant points there around networks, global experience, the applied natures of projects, you know, tapping into supports, tapping into opportunities, clubs and societies. And I think we see it every year. It's the students who engage in that way, you know, who experience great success when they finish. So you're definitely a fantastic role model for students, and you know, really illustrates what you can achieve if you get involved. Tatiana, I was just going to ask you very specifically about one society, because I noticed you've the hoodie on, so you're representing the Business Analytics Society. Maybe just for students who might not be familiar, but it is great to, you know, to showcase that we do have a society, and Dennis mentioned it in his slides as well, for business analytics.
So the Business Analytics Society, I know that it's started in the year prior us. They started with the whole project and networking and everything, and then on the following year, we didn't actually get that much. We didn't have time to pass through much the information from the previous group to the current one, and but it was just this really the networking and keep people involved. We didn't have much time to get into any hackathon or scripting or programming or anything, but just providing the, at least for our team, at least for our year, that really the big support, and that we are actually here during this really like a hard time that was COVID. So we really, that was our priority, getting all the students that, you know, like that they travel all the way through from different areas of the world, and being sure that they're here, and then they're not only me, but they could also take the best of this new IG opportunity, so we could actually survive the year. So that was the society for the year pretty much. But I was part of other ones as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. I think in any master's program in any year, it is good to have that support network, because it's a rewarding but challenging year as well. But you know, being surrounded as well by high performing peers, that elevates everyone. That pulls the standards up for everyone. And I know, Dennis, like you had mentioned earlier about some of the diversity in terms of you know, student profiles and what programs they'd studied before, and similarly for information systems management, and just bringing in those different insights and experiences and ways of working and thinking. You know, it really elevates the standard for the entirety of or for all the students in the program who are engaging in that way. Noel, I was going to come back to you with one question. I think just obviously given COVID-19 and the impact that that's had on, you know, digital transformation, and every business has been required to kind of, you know, adapt their online strategies. Maybe just to talk a small bit about how you've seen maybe you know, a shift in the industry, or how it's just increasing the demand for students coming out with the skill sets they're developing through ISM.
Sure, yeah. So the last, I suppose 2 years or so now, a lot of organizations are beginning to, I suppose, take stock of exactly how they operate, you know, in terms of their business model and so on, as we have as a university also. So I guess we're beginning to realize that there's huge potential there in the use of digital technologies and new advancements in technologies. And I guess one thing that industry are looking for is not only the business know-how and the technical know-how, but also that creativity, that critical thinking to look at how can our graduates now identify new opportunities or new markets? How can they begin to leverage existing technology to open up new markets also? And they really look for that spark in, you know, as part of our graduations and, you know, as part of our graduates. So one thing that we try to do is actually use that final year project to, you know, as part of the capstone project, to showcase the skill set that our students have. And they're beginning to leverage that not only to advance new ideas in terms of digital transformation and how that might, I suppose, lend well into industry, but also trying to showcase how they can offer their skill sets to other clients, like, for example, like with charities who are in need at the moment, and how they can support existing companies or existing charities to try to overcome the obstacles that they face with COVID-19. So again, I suppose to highlight, we're very much, I suppose, engaged as a School of Business for that public good, and we try to instill that as part of our key messages across our modules, as part of the capstone project, if you like, but also across the staff. So our staff work incredibly hard to ensure that they can ensure that they have a research-driven approach, that they, again, that they're very much in line with industry needs and so on, to ensure that our graduates are the best in class, that the best out there in terms of the market. So we often rely on our peers in terms of teaching staff to ensure that we are, I suppose, keeping abreast and keeping on top of the key topics and key trends in IT, in analytics, and so on. So that's part of our school ethos, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thanks very much for that. And I'm actually just conscious that we are coming up on time a small bit. So what I might do is I might come around to each of our alumni first, just to ask if you had any advice that you could give to a prospective student who's considering a master's application. What advice would you give them? So Mary, I might come to you first, as you spoke first earlier, and you might like to talk to students from a conversion perspective even.
Yeah, absolutely. So mine would be, if you're thinking about it at all, to go for it, like if you want a broad set of skills, broader than technical skills, you're going to gain communication skills, project management skills, research, anything like that. So all those things can be applied to a great variety of jobs, and there's lots of career prospects. Even from my classmates alone, like I can see from their LinkedIn profiles and everything that they've got on well. They've got careers now as data analysts, technology consultants, or even in graduate programs. So I think it would be to have confidence in yourself, and to go for it, and especially, as I said, coming from a background that wasn't so based in business or technology, you can achieve. It is directed at people to have a chance to change their direction in career, and I'd say to utilize that, and also to immerse yourself in different groups, change who you are working with, because you can always learn from other people, and if not, you'll learn something about yourself along the way. Brilliant.
Absolutely, that's fantastic advice. Organa, I might come to you next if there's any advice you'd give to a student who's considering looking at the MSc in Business Analytics.
Sure. I would say, don't overthink it. I would say go ahead and apply. Don't think that because maybe you don't have like a background in analytics or anything, that you cannot apply. I would say go ahead and apply while time is running. There are lots of, before you know it, the space gets filled up. And a lot of the questions I get from a lot of people who, via LinkedIn, they keep asking, what are the job prospects after school? Will I be able to get a job? Which is like a lot of, the fears that a lot of people have before applying. I would say, the Irish market is growing. There's a huge demand for people in the analytics space. Like that, I can tell you, there are lots of recruiters still reaching out and asking for data analysts, business analysts. So it's like a huge market. So I would say, don't overthink it. It's a good skill, it's a good, skill set. It's a good area in analytics. Do go for it and do apply,
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And Tatiana, if you had any final words.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard here because the first two pretty much they summed up what was expecting to say. But yeah, as the girls already said, don't feel insecure, because and always be yourself, because there's there's always going to be a company out there that is going to fit your culture, yourself, your personality. So sometimes you might just be feeling like, oh, I might have sent like 100 of CVs, but I couldn't find something. Everything is going to happen when is the best time to happen. But then in the meantime, just keep doing your best, keep improving, keep look at your like inside, how can you improve as a person, and your technical, and keep networking, that everything at some stage is going to happen and be there. So as you already mentioned, there's so many opportunities now in analytics, and it's true because even me, I would say now I'm graduated with 6 months after graduating, and 6 months of experience. There are companies out there, they like texting me on LinkedIn because of the credential, because they know about the NUIG and everything. So trust the process and trust what NUIG can do for you, and be open to all this experience. Don't be in that box that, okay, I'm just going to be going there and leaving it as the same person. That's definitely not the case. You have to be open, do your best, be yourself, and everything is going to be fine.
No, I think that's absolutely brilliant advice. Thank you so much, and to all of our alumni who've joined us today, and yeah, really captured the spirit of the program and the school, and are role models for any students who are looking at these programs. Dennis and Noel, I'm going to bring things to a close now, as we're running on time, but I just wanted to ask if you had any final short sentiments you wanted to share.
Yeah, I just want to say, I suppose, congratulations to our attendees or our viewers of this video later on. It's a great place to be at. You're at a crossroads right now. You're trying to make a career decision, like based on the program you want to select. Any of our programs across NUIG are very high quality, so you can't go wrong there. And I wish you the best of luck in your future career. Thank you.
I'll just jump in there, Adrian. Just say, look, the hardest part about the BA program is getting into the program. But once you arrive, our job, currently my job as program director, but also Anastasia, who's coming in as program director in January, is to provide the support for you as an individual and as a class. These supports range from encountering challenges with a particular module, maybe you might have learning disabilities, physical or other disabilities. We can support you 100% to make sure that you experience that spirit of the BA program that Tatiana Ogona touched on there. There's huge supports across the university, from the Disability Support Office to the Career Services. They provide support from interview preparation, CV writing, introducing you to employers, and we'll do the same on the program, the BA program. We introduce employers into the classroom, they do guest speakers. So whatever way you want this master's to be your springboard, we can make that happen. Only if you get involved in the activities that Ogona and Tatiana mentioned. So it's really up to you. What do you want career path in the next year to 5 years? And if you know what you want post this master's, well then, if you think this is a platform for you, I'd recommend you apply today.
Fantastic, Dennis. Thank you so much. And just to take a second, just to say thank you, Dennis, as well, for all of the leadership you've given to the MSc in Business Analytics over the years. And I'm sure on behalf of all of the students who you've been program director while you're there, just the leadership you brought and really energizing that spirit across the program. So thank you to Dennis for all of your work as program director for Business Analytics, and we look forward to working with Anastasia in the coming years on the program as well. So with that, I'm going to draw the session to a close. I would just want to say thanks again so much to everyone who joined us today and for all of the valuable insights that you've shared. And we're here at any point to support students throughout the application journey, your journey coming to Ireland, should you receive an offer, and if you're an international student, if you're a student at NUI Galway, we're always open. Openness is one of the key values of the university, so please do reach out and we're happy to provide support whatever way that we can. So I'm just going to close by, I'll leave this slide up here, just with contact information at the moment. So thank you very much again, and take care.